Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show, everyone. Hello, Papa. Decked out in the Dodgers today.
I got people notice that, and I turn around and I say, it's got my name on it.
Oh, really? It does?
It's got my name on it.
On the back.
On the back.
Roberts.
Yes.
But not Albert.
Roberts.
I'm just messing with you.
But number 42 was Jackie Robinson's number.
Yeah.
Not mine.
A legend. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He became a legend.
And your Dodgers are doing...
They got beat by the Brewers last night.
Are they having a fairly okay year so far, though?
They're still in first place.
Oh. Okay, I don't feel too sorry for them then, Papa.
I don't feel sorry.
You should be happy about that.
But Kershaw is hurt. He's not. He's on the disabled list.
Oh, really?
He's our ace.
For how long, did they said?
I don't know. It didn't say.
I bet you're concerned about that, ain't you?
Yes, I am.
You should be. Ain't he like their best player?
Well, he is
the
the franchise.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
In my opinion.
Well, yeah, he. I think he is. I think you might be right on that one.
Clayton Kershaw.
You should know. You're a big-time Dodger fan.
At one time, when I was younger, I knew the batting averages of every Dodger player.
Wow, that is impressive.
I knew their batting averages.
When I was a kid, I could keep up with all the Celtic starters' averages and scores and all that stuff.
Did
I could, yeah. I started liking the Celtics real young. Larry Bird. Just
you
watched them and the Lakers, that rivalry, I guess, is what it was.
Do you remember how old you were?
Real young. Maybe a little over 5. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I was real young.
I didn't become a Dodger fan until 47. I was 12.
You're still young, though.
I was still young.
Well, here in Pikeville, Tennessee, it is pouring the rain.
No,
it's actually let up now, but it was like 30 seconds ago.
It was raining
True story,
hard.
folks.
It was raining hard.
Yeah, it's pretty much a thunderstorm. That is what it's going on.
You don't have to water your flowers outside today.
No, it's a washout. But our producer said it's going to be out of here by 5. I hope that's right, because rain's depressing. I know we need it, but it is depressing.
You don't know who needs it the most.
True.
I would say there are other areas in the United States that need it worse than we do.
Oh, I know they do. Oh yeah.
Distribution is not a matter. It's not a matter of Albert handing it out to different people.
Well, I'm sure there's some places that are in a drought. I'm sure.
Yes, they are.
We were in one a few years ago. 16, summer of 16.
I can remember we've had to ration water a few times.
So I'd rather it rain than have to go through all that. That's for sure.
Right.
And of course, I forgot on the intro. You're watching us on Channel 18, BTC Fiber TV, WUAT Radio. You're listening to us on there. And don't forget, you can watch us on BTC Fiber's YouTube channel. Go check us out on there. We'll just check out the whole channel. All the original programming is on there. You can see all the Albert and Billy Show episodes along with the other original programs on there. So go check it out, folks. Subscribe and give us a like and comment if you got something nice to say.
Don't talk about that old man.
Other than that,
Don't talk about that old gray-headed man. Brother Jim told me that the Sunday school lesson last week got a response from Dubai.
Cool. The Middle East.
In the Middle East. He asked me if I knew where that was, and I said, yes, I know where Dubai is.
Actually, I've not been there, but I've seen pictures and seen it on TV. It looks like a beautiful place.
Well, they have, it's a golf mecca.
Is it?
Yes, they have tournaments there.
Tennis has a tournament there, too. Now I think about it. Yep, I think that's where I've seen it on TV a few times. I'm playing there, and you can tell it's a really nice place.
Well, I would think that tennis should be a universal sport.
It is, yeah. They literally go everywhere, literally.
I would not be surprised if marbles were not widespread.
If it is, it'd be thanks to you, Papa.
That's an inside joke, folks.
We got some announcements for you. Let's see here. We want to make sure we include the veterans announcement on here. They're having a big barbecue fundraiser tomorrow at the Veterans Hall.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, folks, tomorrow, and it's from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let's see what it says here. It's to help raise funds for scholarships. That's a good cause. The plates will be $10 each. It will include pork loin, smoked chicken. This is all barbecue. Boston butt, potato salad, baked beans, coleslaw, and a drink.
You get 3 choices of meats?
Yeah. Yes, you do. That's
pork
big,
loin.
isn't it? Pork loin, chicken, and Boston butt.
Well, Boston butts are cheaper than the pork loin.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think of the 3, they'll make more money off the Boston butts.
Oh, yeah.
But
pork
by
loin,
the same token,
loin tastes good, though.
A lot of people can't eat pork, so that's the reason they're offering chicken as an alternative.
That's smart. That's
good. That's good.
And of course, like we said, it's tomorrow, folks, from 4 to 6. You can eat in or carry out. So I didn't know that. That's good too. And so that's at the Veterans Hall tomorrow. That's a big one. Barbecue fundraiser. Anytime it's for veterans, it's for a good cause, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So mark that down, folks. That's tomorrow. The Mountaineer Folk Festival is coming up pretty soon, Pawpaw. I'm seeing that here. September 9th through the 11th will be the 44th annual.
Is that on
Falk Creek Falls?
Yeah, Falk Creek Falls.
And the Mountain Folk Festival will be held September 9th through the 11th at Falk Creek Falls. Traditional artists will stand between modern days and forgotten ways. This event is sponsored by Friends of Falk Creek Falls. It is a really good event, folks. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. It is a really good event they have annually each year. Youth soccer registration is also being held now, it says. Bledsoe County Youth Soccer Fall registration and practice is going to be held on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. at the soccer field next to Pikeville Elementary School on Highway 30. Teams are available for ages 4 and up. Early registration fee is $75. For more info, call Greg Smart. He's been doing this for a while now. His number is 423-364-1154. 364-1154. He's been doing this for a pretty good while now. I've done it when it first come here to Bledsoe County.
Really?
You know, we didn't have a soccer team of any kind then. They literally had to train the coaches, you know, about the rules and how to play. We had to get out there and play soccer. I remember that. We had to play soccer. It was pretty fun, but we weren't really familiar with the sport. You know, it's not big here. It's bigger now, but then it was not big at all. It was unheard of. But it was pretty cool to be there. I think I coached the first 3 years of it. So it's pretty cool to see it still going.
But you liked basketball better than you did
soccer. Yeah. I coached basketball for, probably 20 years.
Wow.
I was young when I started that. I had took the last year off of it, but I'll probably go back to that. Every now and then you need a break from it, though. But it is fun. You're right, Papa, it is. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Well, the Bargain Basement will be tomorrow, so I'll say that one. That's tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Methodist Church right here on Main Street. They will have their $1 a grocery bag, $1 a grocery bag, or $5 large kitchen bag summer clearance sale on all clothing except Christmas room clothing. Great assortment of clothes will be there. Come take a look. And of course, it's sponsored by the United Methodist Women.
You know, I would not be surprised, but what some people shop at their
sure,
for Christmas presents.
Yeah, that'd be smart, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I never think to do that, but we should.
I've already got my Christmas cards ready.
Oh, I bet. Why you're not trademarking them and selling them, I'll never know, folks. But I've tried. Oh, how have I tried? I've tried hard to get him to do that. Because you could. They're that good. They're that good.
In your opinion.
Yeah, but I think it's I think that opinion is a correct one.
I have chosen about 5 of my drawings to be the face on some of my Christmas cards.
Yeah. Charlie Brown, Snoopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sent one to Parker Dean. You know, they took him to Dr. Tuesday, and his little chest has been caving in every
that's
time
true.
he breathed.
Yeah.
And they took him to the doctor, and the doctor said he would outgrow the situation.
Oh,
it
that's
just wasn't perfectly formed in the
that's
wound.
really good news.
And so I picked out one of my all occasion cards. I have a little angel that's kneeling down.
I've seen it
with wings.
Yeah.
And he's petting a lamb.
Yeah, it's real pretty actually.
And that's the card that I chose to send Parker Dean.
That's a good choice, actually, Papa. Comforting choice.
Well, Matthew 18:10 says you and I both have a guardian angel, and everyone has one that's assigned to. Do you know how many angels were created by God?
No, I don't.
10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands. That's according to the book of Revelation. There is no way that you can count the angels that were created.
That's good to hear, actually.
And so each one of us has a guardian angel.
Very true.
I sent this card to Parker Dean, letting this picture be representative of his guardian angel.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That's what I intended. I don't know that will happen.
They know it now. Well, you've got a couple of events to tell us about.
And both of these are breakfast by 2 different fire departments.
Good deal.
We'll begin by a week from tomorrow, Saturday the 20th. No, that's tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
The next one is a week from then. This one is tomorrow, and it's at the Mount Crest Fire Hall.
Yeah.
And the menu will be bacon and sausage. Then you'll have scrambled eggs. It doesn't say scrambled, but they don't fry them to suit you. They will have hash browns to go with those eggs, and then you can have biscuits and gravy. And for dessert, you'll have jelly with biscuit. You have butter and coffee and milk, and I'll bet you there's orange juice available too.
I think it's just a tradition not to put it on there
They
now.
don't put it on there. But anyway, the fire department will get the benefit of all the money that you give. They request that you give them $8, but they'll take a 10.
They sure will.
They'll take a 10.
And it is for a really good cause, yeah.
But it's where Route 30 West intersects with 101 there. Okay, then the following Saturday, out at the Fall Creek Falls, their fire department is having a breakfast. And that's also on 30 West. You keep on going till you get to the Fall Creek Falls. Their country breakfast, the menu consists of biscuits and gravy, scrambled eggs, hash brown potatoes, pancakes.
There we go.
Waffles with fruit toppings.
I like it. They've had waffles with the pancakes consistently.
Bacon,
like
sausage, country ham, fried bologna.
You can't go wrong with that menu. You and your bologna.
Then they have fruit to eat, and orange juice and coffee and milk and water. You must pay $10. You will want to pay $10 for a meal like this.
I was about to say,
but they'll offer the meal to children under 10 for free.
That'd be coming with an adult, I'm sure, but they will do that.
That's a good
deal. A good
and remember,
selection, you know.
These are fire departments.
Volunteer. That's
fire
true.
Departments.
So anytime you contribute to that, you are doing a good thing.
If we had to pay, there's 9 fire departments scattered throughout Bledsoe County. If you had to pay, each community had to pay their fire department to provide fire protection.
Be rough.
And Pikeville, let me tell you, it'd make your taxes go up.
I bet.
It'd make your taxes go up.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you'd have to have a skeleton crew on duty at all times. Of course. Plus, you'd have to call those in the day that you had a fire.
Yeah. Actually, very fortunate that it is the way it is.
Yes, we are the beneficiaries of our fire departments.
That is so true. Well, let's get into some trivia.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
If you're a sailor and you're on a ship and you break the rules, they throw you in the, what's their jail called on board a ship? It's not jail.
Pokey?
No.
Lifeline? What's the jail called on the ship? Lifeline just shaking his head.
Starts with a B.
Starts with a B.
Brigade.
Is that brigade?
Brig.
Brig. I would have never got that. I ain't never even heard of that.
I'm sorry.
Brig? Is that how you say it?
B-R-I-G.
Oh.
You throw them in the brig.
Okay.
That is jail on board a ship.
On a ship.
And they'd have to have somewhere to put you in hold.
Oh, yeah.
If you came on board drunk and they didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. Or come on board to do something even worse. You got to have somewhere to put these people.
This sailor came back off. He'd been off duty, and he came back on board ship. And the main admiral wanted to check to see if he was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And so he stopped him and said, I want to find out if you've got whiskey. He said, I'm going to close my eyes and I want to hear splashes in the water if you've got whiskey. So the admiral closed his eyes and the sailor threw two splashes sounded in the water, and he said, okay, you can come on board now. He threw his 2 shoes.
That's a good one.
Number 2, the organization that the Bulls are in.
Talking about sports, ain't we? Yeah. Chicago.
But what's the organization they're in?
Oh, the NBA.
The NBA, National Basketball Association. Okay, what is the mate call for a female sheep? Ewe is what the female is called. What do you call the male that mates with her to have an offspring?
Lifeline, do you know that one? A male sheep. What's a female ewe?
Ewe is a ewe. But what's the male called?
What's a male sheep called, Cliff?
What's the male sheep called?
Ram. Okay. I was going cheap, but I cheated anyway.
They call it a ram?
Apparently so, yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a pickup truck.
It is. Good job, Cliff.
If you have a hammer in your hand, what is the target for that hammer?
Well, I mean, hopefully it's a nail.
A nail. That's
not
what
somebody's face.
I can remember seeing my daddy drive a nail it just seemed like he could drive a nail in one lick. It took me 100. The garage for a jet plane, what do you call where you park a jet plane? You pull them into the blank.
I do know, but I'm having trouble remembering the word.
Starts with H.
Starts with an H.
Where you put planes?
You put your clothes on.
Hanger. That's it. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Lifeline.
If you are a male and you're going to get married, you rent clothing to wear. Tuxedo.
Yeah.
If you sit for an artist to draw you, what do you call what you're doing when you sit for an artist to draw you? You are doing what?
Gosh, what's it start with?
Starts with a P.
Oh crap! That ain't what I was gonna guess then.
You're doing something while that artist draws you, and you're sitting very still. Posing.
There we go.
Very good. The last one. What do you call a school of whales? 3 letters. That should be easy if it's just 3 letters.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not.
Well,
I'm not. School whales.
Some groups of animals are called herds.
Yeah.
And some are called. But what do you call a group of whales that have gathered together?
Lifeline, you know that one? Yeah, it's a tough
Starts
one.
with a P, 3 letters. It's a pod.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Well,
But
at
I
least
bet
I've
you-
heard of that.
I'll bet you there's some people that are
know
listening
that.
today. They'll know that.
Yeah, the viewers and the
Whereas
listeners
there'll
know
be a
some
bunch of
these.
people that don't know what it is.
That's true. Some people tell me they don't know how I answer some of the ones that I do.
Juanita, the lady that I've been taking out to eat,
Mm-hmm.
she told me she watches our program,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "Albert, I've learned a lot."
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say that. They've said it to me, talking about the trivia.
But let me tell you, she has really impressed me with her biblical knowledge.
Really?
Oh, she's interesting.
Well, then that's impressive, then, because you have a lot of that for sure.
Well,
Lots and lots.
She's interesting to talk to.
Cool.
She's interesting to talk to.
Well, I've got to meet her once, but she was really nice. Really nice.
I think she's a very nice lady.
Mhm.
She's 80 years old, and I called out
She
there.
don't look it though.
I called out there once, and she said, "Albert, I can't talk right now. I'm washing my deck." I called back again later that week, and she didn't answer the phone. And later I called back, and she answered the phone. I said, "Where were you a while ago?" She said, "Well, I was outside mowing."
She's a hard worker too, ain't
She lives alone, and she does all of her work herself.
Yeah.
I wish I could mow
Well, you
my
could-
yard.
Yeah, I know. You'd be doing it in the hottest part of the day. For sure. You could bank on that, folks.
I need to trim my hedges, my shrubs. I need to do the weed eating and all that. You know, I can't do it.
But it ain't
It's
work.
all I can do to walk.
Caught me off guard on that one. Is that all true?
That's all the trivia.
Okay. Well, you got me cracked up on that, but we'll be right back, folks, after the break with some sports of all sorts and some good old Albertology. That is all coming up after the commercial break, folks. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Dunlap Mercantile, located in the heart of the beautiful Sequatchie Valley at 15664 Rankin Avenue in Dunlap, Tennessee. Stop in today for some Mayfield ice cream or a cup of community coffee, and if you're interested in renting this venue for your event, call 423-949-2552. Stay tuned to DunlapMercantile.com for concerts and events coming to the Dunlap Mercantile in 2021. God bless.
And welcome back, folks, to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT Radio and Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV. And of course, don't forget to go to the YouTube page for BTC Fiber. Get on there and subscribe, folks. We will appreciate that. And we want to thank our sponsors, of course. So thank you to the following businesses: Citizens Tri-County Bank, Bilbrey Insurance, Scotty's. Go get you a Scotty Burgers, Papa says. The offices of Emma Boynton, Lisa Wheat. Well, the countdown really is going on,
Yes.
but she's Emma Boynton, Lisa Wheeler, Michael Walker, and got to get with Emma because she's going to do an appearance on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be really soon, folks. Farm Bureau Insurance, thank you, Matt Massengale, his friendly staff. They're down in South Pikeville, right by Putnam Reed Funeral Home. Go ask them about all your insurance needs. Nickel Row Antiques, our closest neighbor, they have a little bit of everything, folks. If you've not checked it out, you really, really need to. We're not just saying that, are we?
And you know, she doesn't really have any control over what they bring.
No, it's just
The people are
vendors.
bringing things that they have to sell, and
Yeah.
it alternates. They'll come in and get some stuff out and put some more because
Well,
they've got an
you're right.
allocated space that they're renting,
Yeah.
And so if there's something not moving very fast, they'll come and get it and put something else in its place.
Smart.
So there's a variety of goods that
There really is.
some things I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's a nice place, folks. We've done an episode on it before. Gave them take a virtual tour on that one.
Yes.
But come check it out for yourself, folks. So you'll enjoy it. Also, thank you to Morgan Brothers and also the Bankwalker Brewery and the venue. Gibbs Pools, State Farm Insurance, Nick Smith and his friendly staff. Go see them. They're by one of our other sponsors, Southern Pearl Florist Home Decor and Gifts.
I took brownies to them and also to what was
Hilltop Meats.
No, the one you said before that one.
What did I say? State Farm.
I took some brownies to them.
Well, that makes sense because they're right there beside each other. Yeah. Let's see. Milldam Outdoor Adventures. It's Lola's. She's, gearing up for the second annual Light Up Pikeville event.
Yes.
Collier and Company Realty. Michelle Collier. Cindy Nipper with Remax Realty. Dexter's Barbershop. The Butter Dish. I still haven't ate there. I've got to eat there.
Oh, I like their food.
I hear it's really good. Lee Station Baptist Church, and I've done said some Pearl Florist Home Decor Gifts. Might as well say it again since it done started. Hilltop Meats right here on Main Street, right by It's Lola's. And they got good meats too. They really do. And Seashore Getaway, we had her on last week, Adriana. It's a travel agency, and she can pretty much book you anywhere.
Yes.
Literally anywhere. So thanks to all of our sponsors. We do appreciate it. And now, Papa,
We're
let's
ready
talk
for sports?
some sports. Yeah.
Sports of all sorts. In football, on ESPN, they have more than one channel. They have ESPN and ESPNU, and I don't know how many.
Oh,
they've got. But there's a program on there, Marty and McGee. And this week, I heard those two men talking, Marty and McGee.
Okay.
And they said
Heard of them.
that this past year, that some of the members of Mr. Nick Saban's ball team got as high as $3 million.
Wait, what?
$3 million. That's what I heard them say on television.
They're
Now,
not pros either. It's
they're not
returning
pros.
play. That's too
But
much.
they're making
They'll run the sports, what they'll do.
they're making available for some of those players, if they have a name already established, the opportunity to cash in on their popularity, and therefore they can get some compensation for companies using their name.
I get it, but that's too much money, and it'll run the sport.
$3 million
That's too much. You'll have college athletes not trying hard anymore.
until we get to LeBron James. That's an astronomical figure, but when we get to LeBron James, it will be.
It's too much for college kids to be making, because the good thing about college sports is they're playing for the love of the game. Okay, you're going to lose that if you get too much into the money situation. It's a really stupid
These are
idea.
amateurs.
That's exactly
They're
right.
not
They're not
pros.
professionals.
They're not pros. All right. I heard also on television this week that Mississippi State is projected to win 6.5 ball games.
Say what now? 6.5? How do you do that?
Well, you extend the season, you've got 12 games. So they're going to win an average of 6.5.
You know it's still a stupid thing for them to put down.
I don't know why they did that, but I got to thinking, it's Lane Kiffin that's at Ole Miss. He's
at Ole
Mississippi
Miss.
State.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Ole Miss will be good this year.
I don't remember who they're. Well, no, I believe it's Ole Miss that's ranked. It's Ole Miss.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. That's what I'm saying. They'll be good this year.
They're ranked number 21.
They did good last year. They kind of overachieved last year.
Now I've got a question. Why is Utah ranked in the top 10?
But I don't know. They always seem to manage to get their papa. They don't play nobody.
Well,
but they do recruit
their first
really
game
well
is either with Florida or Florida State. I don't remember which one.
Wow.
But we'll find out something about Utah then. If they're in the top 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? No, in the top 10,
Well,
they should defeat either Florida or Florida State.
well, they should. It depends on what their ranking is, but yes.
Florida is not ranked. Florida State's not ranked.
Then yeah, they should. Now I will say that Utah has won some really big games over the last probably 10 years in some bowl games. They are legit.
So
usually.
you think they're legitimate? by being
Usually, but what goes against them though, and I guess they can't really help it. It's their
They don't play
conference.
anybody.
Yeah,
They don't play
it's a
anybody.
very weak conference.
Because in your conference, you play more conference teams.
yeah, and they completely dominate that conference.
Okay, Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin
Mm-hmm.
at the helm.
Yeah,
They're ranked number 21.
I kind of figured it'd be higher than that. Really.
Tennessee's not even ranked.
Now they should be at least in the top 25. I feel
I
like.
think I read where one poll put them at number 25.
Well, good for that poll then.
Earlier.
Well, I think they should at least be number 25.
And I'm going to tell you some things that other analysts have said about Tennessee. But right now, this poll, they had Lane Kiffin at number 21. The same man said that Tennessee should be ranked.
Oh, I
But
agree.
they're not. They're not. Now, in the top 25 out of 14 teams in the SEC, we have 6 teams ranked in the top 25,
I'm not
which is pretty
surprised.
good. Pretty good. And Mississippi, Ole Miss is number 21. The ones that are in the top 20, you have Alabama,
Of course.
Georgia,
Of course.
Texas A&M,
Yeah.
Arkansas, and Kentucky.
The last two are surprising this year, because they kind of. Well, Kentucky has been improving, seems like, every year.
Yes, they've been able to handle Tennessee.
Yeah. Arkansas's kind of been up and down, but they must be going to be up this year, or expected to be.
But let me tell you the 3 teams that I did not see ranked. LSU,
That is shocking.
Auburn,
That is too.
and Florida.
That is too.
That blows my mind.
That's unheard of.
First
That's
time in
unheard of.
22 years, those 3 teams are not ranked.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
Because I guarantee you, one of those
Some-
teams, at least one of them, will have a winning record and be in a bowl.
Some of these analysts that
They don't know what they're doing.
eliminated them from consideration. I'm thinking at the end of the year they might have to re-lick their calf.
They will. They will. There's no way that all 3 of those teams.
3 teams, Auburn, LSU, and Florida, are perennial
powerhouses.
powerhouses.
They are. Especially LSU, of late,
Well, now LSU,
But they got rid of their coach a little bit too early,
the
too.
one that they got was the Notre Dame coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's, I would think he'll do a good job there. Big difference in Notre Dame and LSU, though. Notre Dame's not the Notre Dame of old.
But Notre Dame doesn't have a conference schedule.
Yeah, they're independent. They can play anybody.
So why would he want to get in hot water and get in the SEC?
It's got to be money.
You got to win in the SEC.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is if it's not money, then it's the prestige of the SEC and trying to get a championship.
LSU they're
And
capable.
They've done it a few times.
There's something about playing at Death Valley.
Yeah, that's true. It's a tough place to win.
Tough place to win. In basketball, LeBron and the Lakers got together and they hammered out a contract for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's 37 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They hammered out a contract for 2 years, making him the highest paid NBA player in history. $97 million.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
$97 million.
There's no sense in that. There's not. You see all the problems in the world, and that's why they all look so stupid when they complain about not getting paid enough. It's like, really, nobody. Nobody is feeling your pain. Nobody cares and feels sorry for you. You're multimillionaires.
Points per game, he gives you 30.3 points per game.
He does. He still don't deserve that much money.
But then, by the same token, he probably shoots more times than anybody else on the team.
He does, and he's not loyal to any team. That's what I do not like about LeBron James. There's no loyalty.
Well, he is for 2 years.
Yeah, but that's...
He signed a contract.
And most of the greats, we've talked about this, most of the all-time greats, they're with one team. He's been way too many.
Yes.
Way too many.
You're right.
He's left his hometown twice.
Also, while we're on the subject of basketball, Steph Curry this week on television was likened unto Duncan.
Tim Duncan.
Was likened unto let's see, Duncan, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal. He was likened to Kobe.
Okay.
They said that he is in that category of a player.
He is. That's easy to figure out.
You think it's easy? Well, they got some flack for coming out and putting
I don't know why.
In those players in their shoes. They said,
well, they're
Steph
not
Curry
saying he's better. They're just saying he's in that league. I think he is.
Well, points per game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a scoring machine.
But at the same time, he takes a lot of shots.
Yeah, that's true. But they did too.
This was Mr. Derek Fisher that made this statement. That was his name.
Yeah, sounds very familiar.
That's tall cotton, Mr. Curry, that you're walking in. You take Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan.
Oh, it's legendary players.
Shaquille O'Neal. Wow.
They are.
The only one they left out was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Like you'd think Jordan and Bird and Magic and Isaiah Thomas, Charles Barkley would be included. Obviously, they should be.
Well, evidently, in Mr. Derek Fisher's opinion, these are the three stalwarts that stand out to him.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't have thought that. I ain't going to go that far with it.
Well, but he didn't mention...
No. LeBron either, did he? I hate that for him.
Of course, LeBron is still playing.
Well, so is Curry.
Yeah, Will Curry. Okay, in Tennessee football, this year, beginning September the 1st, our first game, and
Ball State.
We play Ball State, and our fellow here that does our filming, he looked that up for me. That's going to be on a Thursday night.
Well, thank you, producer. A Thursday night. That is weird.
Thursday night. But they're going to wear the gray, smoky gray uniforms.
I like them.
First time since 17.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know they wore them fairly recently.
Now, in football also,
yeah,
I heard one man say that Alabama, of course, they're pre-ranked number one in most every poll, even though Georgia is the defending champion.
What's Georgia rank?
They're number 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's probably
most of the ranking, the polls puts Alabama at number 1. The reason they're doing that is because they say, according to this program I watched, that Alabama's defense is going to be better this year than it was last year.
Oh, is that the reason? Well, it could be, I guess. They didn't win the national championship last year,
though,
they didn't. Their offense wasn't as good.
Did they lose 2?
They did. Georgia obviously beat them in the championship game, and then they lost to Texas A&M in the regular season.
Well, that's the reason Texas A&M ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, that was a big win. All
right, on the Marty and McGee show, I watch it about every day.
Really?
They
never heard you talk about them until today.
They interviewed the Vanderbilt coach.
Football coach.
His name is Clark Lea, L-E-A. And they asked him what he thought about his team. He said, let me tell you how I grade my team. I grade my team holistically.
What does that mean?
They asked him, said, tell us what that means. He has 5 categories that he grades his team in. That's body, spirit. Let me be sure I get it. That I want them developed in these 5 areas: mind, body, spirit, bond, and skill. This is what I want my student athletes to achieve, not for football, for life.
Well, I like that answer. I do.
He said, I'm trying to hone their skills and their set of abilities so that they will succeed in life.
That's a good thing, I think.
He may not keep his job because,
Why?
well, he doesn't say a word about winning.
Well,
He's wanting to develop
do they
the
expect-
person.
do they expect Vandy football to be a powerhouse all of a sudden, though?
No, because you have student
They're never
athletes
gonna
that go
be.
there to learn, and to show what
Exactly.
they know. They're not flexing their football muscles.
They do their baseball every now and then, though.
Yeah, they do.
Didn't realize they were that good.
We will find out what Vanderbilt has. They play Hawaii
Oh,
in Hawaii, their first game.
well, that'd be a cool vacation anyway.
And I believe that will be a week from tomorrow, their first game.
Well, Hawaii isn't exactly a powerhouse either, so I guess that could go either way.
A lot of teams in the United States, they schedule Hawaii on their schedule
wonder why.
because they
To
want
go
to
to
go. They want
Hawaii.
to go to Hawaii.
I would do it too in a heartbeat.
That's all I have in sports.
Well, that was a lot. Learned a lot there. Well, what we gonna learn in some good old Albertology,
Now
Papa?
there's another horse of a different color.
Isn't it though?
We've talked about the Chattanooga newspaper being discontinued,
Oh, have we
except for
ever?
Sunday. Except for Sunday.
Yeah,
All right,
you mainly.
I'm the one that does most of the complaining because I don't have access to that newspaper to get all
Yeah.
my tidbits about sports.
But I still say this: you should be getting it on Sunday. We got to figure that out.
Well,
That's crazy. You should have it on Sunday.
I'll tell you why. They want as much for that Sunday paper as I was paying for every day.
Oh, you finally figured it out?
Yeah,
I didn't
called.
know that.
I called it. In the speaking of newspapers, in
Kind
the
of a
last
rip-off, isn't it?
in the last 15 years, we have seen 2,000 newspapers quit printing the paper for people to read.
I think that's silly.
15 years, 2,000 papers have shut their doors.
That means they do not give a crap about the older generation.
All right,
That's what that truly
let me
means.
pick out one town in Minnesota, a small town, a tiny town. In that town, they had a General Motors dealership. Here in this town, we have none, but at one time
We
we had a
have,
General
though.
Motors dealership.
Yeah.
And they had a local newspaper that printed like we have a local newspaper.
Yeah, a small town should
All right.
never stop.
They asked the General Motors dealer why he thought the newspaper quit
That's what it did in that little town.
in that little town. So he said, well, I used to spend 50% of my advertising budget with the local radio station and 50% with the local newspaper.
Yeah.
He got to checking. He was spending 100% of his advertising budget on the internet. So this explained the plight of the newspaper, lack of advertising.
Oh, okay.
Lack of
Okay.
advertising.
But I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. He just figured out he was 100% using the internet, or he's just changed
Evidently,
it.
he had somebody hired that was writing the checks for the advertising, and he wasn't realizing it. All of a sudden, he
Verifying.
realized, I'm not spending any money on the local radio station. I'm not spending any
Oh.
money on the local newspaper. And all of a sudden, the newspaper shut its door. The radio's still operating.
That's sad, if you ask me.
Well, in 15 years, if you've had 2,000 newspapers to shut their doors, that gives you an idea what's going on.
Yeah. But it's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good
we
thing, but
don't-
that's the handwriting on the wall, and you're not going to stop people from spending their money on the internet because this
but
is
people can fight for the papers though. You can't give up. It's just because they're doing it doesn't mean it's right. It's not a good thing.
I have a feeling that most of the newspapers that shut their doors were small-time operators, not your big
Well, of
cities.
course, yeah, but it's just sad. That's just a sad thing to.
It is.
see.
It is. But thank God we've still got a local paper. It just
Well,
publishes
yeah.
once a week.
But it's always been that way.
It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Now then, I have some more activities I want to read
Well,
to
hopefully
you.
not as depressing as that.
These are. Have you ever heard of the Beatitudes?
The what attitude?
Beatitudes.
Apparently not.
Jesus taught the Beatitudes in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. Blessed are the mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Well, I've heard that. I just didn't know the Beatitude.
That's one of the Beatitudes. This, what I'm going to read to you, is the Beatitudes of the aged. I am aged.
Yes, we know.
Blessed are they who understand that age doesn't make me less a man.
Of course not.
Blessed are they who expect of me the very best that I can be.
Hmm.
Blessed are they who seem to know that I have something left that still can grow.
Of course.
Blessed are they who take the time to learn what I was in my prime.
There you go.
Blessed are they who know that I am still somebody until I die.
Of course.
Blessed are they who know my needs and the things on which my ego feeds.
Ooh, I like that one. Did you do are those things you come up with?
Yeah.
Well, that's really good, Papa.
Now, this one is, I don't know who wrote this,
Okay.
but it's about a rose.
Okay. The flower, the
The rose you give away.
Just pull him over and say, "Have to do
A rose or kind word always makes a day.
your
Yeah.
Do you have a rose to give someone today? Why not give it without delay? They can be yellow, white, red, or blue. Anyway, they could be from you. So give a rose to someone. It could be a smile, hello, a pat on the shoulder, a handshake, a hug, or how are you?
Yeah.
So whatever the flowers may be to cheer a soul along the way, it could be a handful of wild honeysuckles that bring a smile that day.
Boy,
So-
it would. They smell great.
Let me tell you something. Flowers speaks loudly in a man and a woman's relationship.
Oh, definitely.
Carolyn
Yeah.
always said, don't buy me flowers, don't buy me candy, take me out to eat.
I like it.
So how many flowers have you given today? Or have you turned your head and walked the other way? Not thinking what it could mean, even a smile is nothing till you give it away. And when the day is ended, have you checked back through the day? Have you given any more roses than you have received today? For we won't see them when our eyes are closed, so make someone's day a rose.
Well, whoever wrote it, that's really good.
I don't have a record of who wrote that.
Sometimes they don't want you to know, do they? They will say that.
It's say anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
This poem I'm about to read now was written by Roosevelt Blaylock. I have a lady friend, her name is Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
This is her brother.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote this
Okay.
poem about Kennedy that got killed in 1963. Here's his poem.
JFK.
Here's his poem. On November the 22nd in the year 63, there was a man so happy and free. His name was John and his wife's was Jack. He went into Dallas and he never came back. He was smiling and waving and talking to until a rifle so quickly was drew. 3 shots were fired from the window above and took from Jacqueline her only true love. He was scheduled to speak at the market that day, but the assassin saw fit to take him away. He stopped 2 slugs and the governor one, as along that street the motorcade run. But the chauffeur sped on in the black limousine at such a fast pace they could scarcely be seen. But they reached the doctor in just a short while, and on their faces there was no smile. The doctor's face looked very grim, and through their glasses they looked at him. They checked his pulse and massaged his heart, but the doctor knew he would die from the start.
Wow.
Then God saw fit to let him go, for the reason we'll never know. His life was snuffed out in less than an hour. He could have only been saved by God's miraculous power. Roosevelt Blaylock.
Well, he's talented.
That is good. Grit.
That was really good.
Grit, the Western Channel, is on channel number 75 at my house.
Oh, it's called Grit.
Grit. It's a Western.
That's right. Yeah, I knew it was. I just thought it was called the Western Channel for some reason.
It's a Western Channel.
Okay.
They do not show movies by Roy Rogers, by Gene Autry. Gene Autry was known as the singing cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Rogers and his wife, Dale Evans, she went by her maiden name, but she married Roy. Roy's name is not Roy Rogers.
You've said it on here before, though.
It's some wild name. Hopalong Cassidy is not seen. Sunset Carson is not seen. Sunset Carson was kin to Cecil Hitchcock, and when my daddy worked at the post office, one night Sunset Carson came to Pikeville to visit Cecil and Velma Hitchcock.
No way.
And Cecil told my daddy the next day, I should have called you and had you bring Albert and Buster over here to meet Sunset Carson, but he didn't.
Oh, dang.
Lash LaRue is not seen. Cisco Kid is not seen. Tex Ritter is not seen. And Durango Kid. That's 8 westerns that are no longer seen on television. Albert's ideology. Albert
Okay. You tell us why you think.
I think those families bought those movies up so they would not be seen.
Oh, didn't think about that, but that's possible.
Because some of the movies on television are Johnny McBrown, Hoot Gibson.
Yeah, I don't really see what they have to gain by not showing them. You're right.
Well,
You could be right, Papa.
just think of how popular a Roy Rogers or Gene Autry film would be.
And all those
And
people
Lash
were.
LaRue he didn't have a 6-shooter, he had a whip.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I'm just saying,
I think
I've
you
noticed.
might be right on that.
I've noticed that.
Good eye, Papa.
All right, I remember going to the theater here right next door for many years when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Saturdays was the Western show. Then that's when I got to see Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy and Cisco Kid and Lash LaRue, all these men.
Yeah.
Here's what I have observed. You always had a fight in the saloon.
Always.
You always had a posse chasing the bad guys.
Yep, that's a given.
You always had the cowboys and Indians.
Yep.
All those you still do.
Yeah.
You're not hurting anybody. Just saying.
But back then, the hero of the film would kiss his horse.
Oh.
Now
Think
he
about
kisses a pretty woman.
Well, I like that. We'll trade off better now.
Here's a question I have. Do you think in the 1700s and 1800s, when most of these films were shot, or that was the era?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they weren't, Papa.
That was the era they depicted.
Right, guys.
Do you think that the women in those years had plenty of lipstick?
Probably so. Probably didn't, actually.
They didn't.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they kissed the horse for so long then.
Now, I've got one of the westerns now is Bat Masterson on Channel 75.
Yeah.
Bat Masterson has on a derby hat and carries a cane.
Oh, really?
He can do more with that cane than Lash LaRue could do with a whip. Let's see, Bat Masterson, White Earp.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And White Earp was a marshal, and then you got Doc Holliday. He was always drinking.
Yeah.
But anyway,
all of those are legends.
Here's some jokes.
Jokes, all right.
A teacher gave the science test, and the teacher asked the question, "Class, what is hard ice?"
Hard ice.
"Hard water." Hard water. And when the answer to one of the kids said ice, I said, "What is hard ice?"
That's pretty good. That was better than the joke.
I'm sorry.
So don't feel bad. That was better than the joke.
Did you hear about the Energizer Bunny?
Yeah, he keeps going and going and going.
No, he was arrested for battery.
That's pretty dang good there.
All right. I've got some jokes here I want to read. You didn't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out that a customer at our post office was an off-duty mail clerk from another plant. He had written on his package, "Fragile, toss underhand." Brother Jim received some glassware he ordered the other day, and it was broken.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding. I don't know how much insurance he had that they mailed it to him under, or if he got his money back or what. But he had to send the money in with the order to get the glass.
Yeah.
And it was plates and cups and things, and I mean it was a mess.
That's weird. I mean but I guess that does happen from time to time.
I said about Carolyn, after she died, I said this.
What?
I should have stamped "fragile." Treat with care. Treat with loving care.
You did, but that is a beautiful statement, though. It is. But you did do that, though.
Well, I wish I did. I wish I'd told Carolyn I loved her a lot more.
She knew you did, and you did say it a lot.
I didn't say it enough.
Well, you're being too hard on yourself, and she'd tell you that too. She really would.
I'm sure she and Patricia's having a ball talking about that.
I would say so.
On her first full day working at a discount store, my niece encountered her first cranky customer. The man had brought over mouse poison and demanded to know why it cost so much. And he said sarcastically to the girl,
Yeah.
"What's in there? Steak?" "Well, sir," the niece said, "it is his last meal."
That's a great comeback.
It is his last meal. Why not steak? My husband, no, I've said this one before. Poke around in your shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Spotting one of his customers wandering the aisles of his specialty food shop, my boss approached. "We're having a sale on tongue," he said. "Would you like some?"
Nope.
This woman shuddered. "I would never eat anything from an animal's mouth." "Well, would you like to buy some eggs?"
That's good.
That was a stupid answer.
That's funny, though. That's funny.
Picture a woman going to a store and she has a mirror in her hand.
Right.
And she's walked up to the counter where she takes returns.
Yeah.
And this is what she says about the mirror. "I would like to return this mirror. Its reflection doesn't look anything like me." I look in the mirror and I wish I looked different.
That's pretty good right there.
"Honey, I have good news and bad news," a man told his wife.
That's never a good thing to start off a conversation, is it?
"What is it?" said the wife. "First, I think I'm losing my voice," he croaks. "So," the wife says, "what's the bad news?"
Oh, that's good. That's cold. That's funny.
On my parents' 50th anniversary, I remember us going to Gatlinburg on our 25th anniversary.
Mhm.
We never had a honeymoon.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
so we took our honeymoon on our 25th anniversary.
Oh, I like that.
So on my parents' 50th anniversary, I
Yeah.
remarked to my father that he and Mom never seemed to fight. We battled, he said, but it never amounted to much. After a while, one of us always realized that I was one that was wrong. But you know, in retrospect, looking back over 60 years of marriage, I believe that Carolyn was the one that always gave in to get the stalemate stopped.
Yeah, when she had to, I'm sure she was smart enough to do that.
Are you saying I was bullheaded,
I know you're stubborn.
stubborn?
1000% know it.
I was on the computer in my home office when my 8-year-old son asked what I did for a living. I'm a consultant, he said. I said, what's a consultant? It's someone who watches people work and then tells them how they could do it better. We have people like that at school. We call them pests.
True statement there.
Now, Rodney Dangerfield said this.
He was funny.
For Christmas, I gave my kid a BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me a shirt with a bullseye on the back.
That's pretty good.
I remember Rodney Dangerfield always said, I get no respect.
He
get
did
no
say
respect.
that. He had a lot of funny movies.
During Sunday school, the substitute teacher asked my 4-year-old what his name was. He said, Spider-Man. No, I mean your real name, pressed the
God.
teacher. Oh, the son apologized. I'm sorry, it's Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. One more, Papa.
A fellow teacher assigned his 4th grade student,
Okay.
he assigned him to write a topic sentence for the following phrase. Sam always works phrases, several of them.
Mhm.
Sam always works quietly. Sam is polite to the teacher.
Okay.
Sam always does his homework. Now remember, this is a 4th grade student that
Oh, yeah.
she's assigning this to.
Right.
And the student's topic sentence was, I hate Sam.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sam's a know-it-all, sounds like. Well, those are good, Papa. I have to say, you're still on a roll.
Those were, some of them were pretty good.
Yeah, the first one was real good, wasn't it? You made that better than the dang joke, Papa.
That's the first boo-boo I ever made.
Well, I meant to say this in sports, but I forgot. But don't forget, Bledsoe County High School football starts tonight. The Warriors will be hosting York Institute. It's here in Pottville, and kickoff is at 7 p.m. tonight. If you don't make it to the game, you can listen to it live here on WUAT. Mike and Brad will have the call for you, and you can watch it too, can't you, Ethan? Or
There was snap. I don't know.
okay, but you can listen to it here on WUAT at 7 p.m. tonight. Mike and Brad will have the call for you. It's the first game of the season, so we'll see what they got.
This ought to tell the tale.
Yeah, probably tell it right off the bat, I'd say.
Or should, used to, Billy, ball games ended in a tie.
Yeah, they used to which I always thought that was kind of stupid, but they did for a long time.
Now, if you're tied and you're tied
Overtime.
after the overtime and tied, there is
Sudden death overtime.
Do you have sudden death?
They have to do it that
Well,
way.
at some point you've got to get the game over.
Yeah, they should have done that to begin with, really, but at least they eventually done it.
I told you that used to, back many years ago, in basketball, you always had tall players.
Yeah. Got to.
But no one thought about going up and catching the ball before it went in the hoop. Until one player did that one time.
Yeah.
And he opened up a can of worms. Then everybody started jumping up and catching the ball before it went in.
Goaltending.
So they had to then create a situation. If you touch that ball on its downward flight, the shot counted.
Exactly. And wasn't it Bill Russell that kind of caused
No,
that?
it wasn't. It wasn't Bill Russell. Now I gave you that name.
Wilt Chamberlain?
No, somebody before them.
Oh, okay.
George Mikan.
Oh, okay.
George Mikan was his name. He was 6'10", I believe, but he had the ability, and other players before him had the ability to go up and stop that ball. But nobody had ever thought about doing it.
Oh well, until him.
Till he did it.
Well, he made an impact because they had to change the rules.
He had to change the rules. And over the years, I'm sure that some of the rule changes have been made to better the game.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure.
One thing about baseball, they need to shorten the game.
Yes, they do.
They need to shorten the game.
And the season possibly too. It is a little bit long.
See, years ago, when before the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to L.A., the season was 152 games. 154 games. Now it's 162, which is just 8 more games. But instead of making the season longer, I'm like you, it would have been better because you start spring practice in April.
And it don't end till October. That's a long time.
The World Series is always in October.
That's a long season. Long season.
Pro basketball is 30 some odd games, 32 games.
That college is. Now, pro basketball, I think, is like 85 games.
Oh, I believe you're right.
Yeah.
I believe
but still, that's, nowhere near baseball's number.
But football used to be 10 games, now it's 12.
It's really short, yeah. Football's kind of too short, baseball's too long. And basketball's kind of just right, I guess.
Well, I guess you're right. That's pretty descriptive.
Yeah.
We need to be a coach.
That's right. Well, folks, thanks for joining us today, and hope you guys have a great weekend this weekend and a great week. Check out the Blitz OK Warriors tonight, or listen to them live here on WUAT. That's at 7 o'clock.
And root for them to beat York Institute.
That's right. Go Warriors. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us. So long, folks.
Bye, folks.
Hey folks, Albert and Billy here. You're watching us on Channel 18, BTC Fiber. Check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like. And check out our Facebook page. Be sure to like and share. Thanks everybody for watching.